The Psychic Spectacular event is returning to Pokemon Go, and I want you guys to be ready for this annual event. So today we're running through all the tips and tricks you need to know for this event and everything else. Let's get into it. So this event is going to be September 20th at 10 a.m. to September 24th at 8 p.m. all local time. So only 4 days. Bonuses during the event, we're going to get extra XP for successfully catching Pokemon with curveball throws. So make sure you do those curveballs, although everybody already does. We'll also have in the wild the spawns of Abra, Slowpoke, Drowsy, Execute, Girafarig, Ralts, Meditite, Spoink, Gothita, Solosis, which is the new shiny, LGM, and rare spawns for Galarian Ponyta, Galarian Slowpoke, and Bronzor. In the 1-star raids, we will see unknown P, S, I, and Esper. Note the unknowns cannot be shiny this time around. I don't know why though. In the 3-star raids, Alolan Raichu, Galarian Mr. Mime, and Hisuian Braviary. In the 5-star raids, we will have Burn Drive Genesect until September 23rd, switching into Raikou, Entei, and Suicune for the rest of the event. And in the Mega raids, Mega Gardevoir. We'll also have some exclusive 7-kilometer eggs hatching Smoochum, Wynot, Chingling, and Solosis, as well as Pokestop showcases during the event where you can enter your biggest Spoink to try to win some challenges and work on that medal. Now we also have some exclusive research going down during the event. Starting with the field research task, we're gonna have the task catch 5 Psychic-type Pokemon for a Solosis, 10 Pokeballs, 5 Great Balls, or 2 Ultra Balls. Make 10 curveball throws can get you either a Galarian Slowpoke, a Wobbuffet, or a Solosis. Make a excellent curveball throw can get you a Kadabra, a Metang, or an Inkay. Spin 5 Pokestops or gyms can get you a Solosis, 500 stars, or 2 Pineapple Berries, and win a raid can get you 50 Mega Energy for either Mega Alakazam, Mega Slowbro, Mega Gardevoir, or Mega Medicham. We'll also have an exclusive time research task that is completely free, requiring you to make a total of 42 curveball throws, getting you a total of 9 Solosis encounters, 30 Pokeballs, and an incubator, as well as collection challenges which you can check out on screen, requiring you to catch and evolve certain Pokemon, getting you a bit of Mega Energy, bit of XP, bit of Stardust. Never hurts to complete these. With the event details of the way, let's get right into the tips and tricks, starting with, of course, as always, the best wild spawns during this event. Starting with, of course, Abra, which evolves all the way up into Alakazam. Alakazam, of course, does have a Mega form in the game right now, which is one of the best Psychic-type raid attackers. Also, Shadow Alakazam is a good Psychic-type raid attacker, so this is great to get candies for that Pokemon. We also have Slowpoke in there, which evolves into Slowbro. Slowbro does have a Mega form in the game right now, so definitely worth getting a good IV one. I still need a Hundo Slowpoke, so I'm definitely going to try to get one during this event. Also, Galarian Slowpoke does see play in some limited Great League metas, so you can kind of grind some candies through catching the regular Slowpokes. Drowsy's in there, which evolves into Hypno. Hypno sees some play in some limited metas. Can't really think of one off the top of my head, maybe like the Remix Cup. Definitely worth having a Hypno on your Great League team roster. Also, Girafarig's in there, which evolves into an unreleased Pokemon, Faragiraf, which is a Gen 9 Pokemon. It's not in Pokemon Go yet, so definitely try to get yourself a good IV one for when that Pokemon comes out, although it's hard to say if it'll be good or not. Ralts is also in there, which evolves all the way up into Gardevoir. Gardevoir, of course, does have a Mega form in the game right now and also available in raids during this event, so worth getting a good IV from the Raltses. And also Gardevoir being a good Psychic and Fairy type raid attacker, especially in the Shadow form. If you have it, get the candies through these wild Raltses. If the Ralts is a male as well, you can evolve it into Gallade, which Gallade has seen some play in some limited Great League and some limited Ultra League metas, like the Willpower Cup, I believe. So definitely just catch the Raltses. It's actually probably one of the best spawns during this event. However, we also have Meditite, which evolves into Medicham. Medicham right now is the #1 Great League Pokemon by a long shot. It is a Pokemon every single PvP battler needs. You're going to need to excel though at level 50, so this is the time to grind those candies with the Meditites in the wild. Medicham also does have a Mega form in the game right now. It's not a very good Mega to have, but you know, you might as well have it, I guess. So you can get a good Medicham to use as your Mega form. But definitely focus on those Meditites. You need Medicham on your Great League team. That moves us into Galarian Ponyta, which evolves into Galarian Rapidash, good in some limited Great League metas like the Willpower Cup we talked about earlier, as well as the Galarian Slowpoke evolving into Galarian Slowbro, good in some limited metas, and finally Bronzor, which is good in the Little Cup. This thing is an absolute beast. Get yourself a Little Cup Bronzor if you do not have one. Okay, with the wild spawns of the way, let's get into the raids. What are the best raids to go after? In the 1-star raids, really nothing worth going after, especially because the unknowns cannot be shiny. So really, unless you want to work on your unknown medal, which we'll talk about later, do not raid the unknowns. In the 3-star raids as well, nothing worthwhile. But in the 5-star raids, we have Genesect. Genesect with the Burn Drive is going to be a strong bug type raid attacker in the game, so definitely a Pokemon worth having. Genesect also does see a little bit of play in the Ultra League. However, not really with this type of move. The Burn Drive is pretty much the fire move on Genesect, but you can't unfortunately change it to other types of moves. So unfortunately, this Genesect here that you're going to be catching, they can be shiny, but they're most likely just going to be used for raids. However, that does switch into Raikou, Entei, and Suicune, and which out of the 3 are going to be the best to go after? #1, Raikou. Raikou is a good electric type raid attacker, really good in the Shadow form if you already have that that. So definitely catch Raikous to power up the shadow form. Entei as well is going to be a decent fire type raid attacker, especially in the shadow form. I actually have a Shadow Hundo Entei. We haven't seen Entei in the raids for a long time, so I'm super excited to get XL candies to power up my Shadow Hundo Entei because it's a really good fire type raid attacker. Finally, we have Suicune, but unfortunately Suicune does not see a lot of play overall, so it's probably the least valuable to raid. Finally, Mega Gardevoir in the Mega Raids, the #1 fairy type raid attacker in the game, and a very strong Mega at that, so definitely raid the Mega Gardevoirs. Get the Mega Energy. This is a Mega you need on your team. Finally, that moves us into the egg hatches because we actually have some decent egg hatches with the 7-kilometer eggs. Well, they're actually not that decent, but there's one Pokemon you need. Wynot. Wynot is good in the Little Cup. If you do end up hatching a Wynot, make sure you save it to use it in the Little Cup because this Pokemon is very, very strong there, and the only way to get it is through eggs, which will be during this event. Other than that though, once you get a Wynot, don't really hatch the 7-kilometer eggs because they are kind of a ripoff. Now, we do have the bonus of increased XP for hitting curveball throws during this event. Unfortunately, we don't know how much bonus XP we're going to be getting. Is it going to be a lot? Is it going to be a little? But nonetheless, it is still going to be worth to go ahead and hit curveball throws during this event to get a little bit of extra XP. Now, normally curveball throws get you an extra 10 XP. So the question is it going to be multiplied how much XP we get for curveball throws, or is it another XP multiplier we're getting? But I will try to add in the pin comments how much extra XP we're getting. Is it going to be worth using a lucky egg? But nonetheless, hit the curveball throws is a great chance to practice if you do not throw curveball throws because they're just worth doing. However, other than XP, there's another resource we can get a lot of during this event, and that's going to be candy. So let's run through the Pokédaxy candy tips, best ways to grind candies during this event. There's actually a couple candies you're really going to want. #1, pineapple berries. Use regular pineapple berries to multiply your catch candy by 2 and silvers by 2.34. Specifically, you want to be using those pineapple berries on those Abras, Slowpokes, Ralts, and Meditites because those are all Pokemon with Mega Forms that you're going to need a lot of candy for. Also, you can Mega Evolve a Pokemon. If you don't know when you Mega Evolve a Pokemon, any Pokemon you catch that shares a type with that Mega, you'll get extra candy, XL candy, and even XP for catching that Pokemon. Obviously, this event is going to be a Psychic focused event, so just Mega Evolving a Psychic type is going to be your best bet. Specifically, you can Mega Evolve either a Mega Slowbro, a Mega Gardevoir, a Mega Medicham, a Mega Latios, a Mega Latias, or last and definitely least, a Mega Alakazam. The reason I say Alakazam is the worst because it's only a single type Psychic Pokemon. You're better off going with some of those first Pokemon because they also have a secondary type, getting you extra XL candies for maybe some other seasonal wild spawns you'll end up finding. Oh, and also you can actually Mega Evolve a Mega Rayquaza because I forgot it gets you extra XL candies for Psychic Pokemon and a couple other Pokemon. So if you have a high level Mega Rayquaza, which probably not all of you have already, you can actually Mega Evolve that. But overall, just make sure you have a Psychic Mega Evolved. Finally, that moves us into trading. Right now, if you don't know, when you trade away Pokemon, if the distance between the two Pokemon where they were caught is over 100 kilometers, you'll get a guaranteed XL candy for making that trade of the Pokemon you're giving away. So for example, if I trade away a Ralts to a Pokemon that was caught in Paris, I'll get an XL candy for Ralts. So definitely save any of these Pokemon you want extra XL candy for, like Meditite, like Ralts, like Abra, like Slowpoke, and then trade them with a friend who might have recently gone on a vacation or a friend that you're meeting up with in another city to get extra XL candies. It can be amazing and super easy way to grind XL candies. Trade away 100 Meditites, for example, that's 100 Meditite XL candy. Finally, that moves us into our last section of this video, Platinum Medal tips. You need 35 Platinum Medals to go from level 48 to 49 in Pokemon Go. And even if you're not close to that, it's still gonna be worth grinding and working on it now because Platinum Medals are not easy to get. So what medals should you work on during this event? Well, first of all, the Psychic Medal, catch 2,500 Psychic type Pokemon. Obviously, during this event, all the Pokemon are Psychic types, so this medal will be easy for you. We also have the Rising Star Medal, defeat 150 species of Pokemon in raids. This means you have to defeat 150 different species of Pokemon, so a Bronzor is different than a Solosis. So if there's any of the Pokemon in the raid roster that you have not raided at least once, make sure you raid them once to get a point towards this medal. For example, if you've never raided an Esper, do an Esper raid. We also have the Pilot Medal, earn 10 million kilometers across the distance of all Pokemon trades. You might be like, how do you work on this medal? Well, the 7-kilometer eggs during this event, since you get 7-kilometer eggs from opening gifts, they're technically Pokemon that were got from far away. If my buddy sends me a gift from London and I hatch that egg, that Pokemon is technically native to London. So I can go ahead and trade that Pokemon to get a lot of points towards this Pilot Medal. I'll also mention the Unknown Medal, catch all 28 letters of Unknown. We obviously have the 3 letters of Unknown during this event, so if you haven't gotten them, get them. You can actually check by coming into your Pokedex, come to Johto, and if you find Unknown, it'll show you all the letters you have. Luckily, I already have P, S, and I, so I don't have to do these Unknown raids, but if you don't have those, do at least one. Final medal I'll mention is the Scientist Medal Evolve 2000 Pokemon. And the reason I mention this medal is because Abra is going to be in the spawns. If you don't know, Kadabra into Alakazam is a trade evolved Pokemon, which means if you've actually received either an Abra or a Kadabra from a trade at any point, evolving that specific Abra into Kadabra will still be 25 candies, but then evolving it into Alakazam is completely free. So this makes it an amazing way if your buddy trades you over a bunch of Abras to get really, really cheap evolutions. It'll be 2 evolutions for about 12.5 candies each, which is super, super easy. So definitely get those Abras, trade them if you want to work on this medal. You'll also get some extra XP for doing this. And with that said, guys, that is my tips for the Psychic Spectacular event. If I missed anything, let me know in the comment section below. Good luck with this little chill event, hunting shiny Solosis if you want it and getting some psychic Pokemon. But overall, I'll probably be taking it chill because, I don't know, I need a break after this crazy Go Fest season. See you guys next one. Follow for more tips. Peace.